it's time to have a very interesting conversation. As Kweku said early on before we went on the break, we're going to be talking tech. We are going to be talking volunteerism. We are going to be talking about giving back to society. And what are we talking about? So there are a group of students who came down to Ghana from their various institutions. They are tech inclined, actually. And they thought that, oh, we've been in Ghana and then we traveled outside to acquire higher education in programming, in algorithm process and all of that. So why don't we come back to where we actually got our basic education from and give back to society? I mean, train the students who have been here, some who are also actually very much interested to boost their knowledge in technology and coding as a whole. And they were here for 3 weeks. They did a very amazing job. I had a tete-a-tete with them. We went to their camp. And the good thing about it for me was the fact that, I mean, they, together with some other people, funded all of this. And these are very young ones. They are still students. So if the young ones are doing this, what about you watching? What about me sitting in this chair? Kuku,
yeah.
You and I were on this project together.
Yes, yes.
We had the opportunity to talk to them. I was very elated about all that they did, the excitement, the zeal. The thought of even coming back to give back to society was it for me. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, you see, so I think that it's very important when we are privileged, right, to have the mind of giving back. Okay, it's really important. Now, a lot of the times, what happens to us is that we become, we are a little mindless. Right. About our blessings, right? We don't think about what it is that has been afforded us and has been bequeathed to us. As like, remember where you were when you had nothing and now what you have in your hand, right? It should inspire you to say, what can I do for someone else, you know, who may not have what I have, right? And for me, that's what this story is all about, right? Young people who have already recognized that we are blessed. No, we don't have $1 million. No, we don't even have $10,000, but we are blessed. Do you see? And because we feel so blessed, let's bless others. You know, and again, like you said, we're talking here about tech. We're talking here about IT. We're talking here about that world, you see. And one of the things that we've always talked about as a nation is that education is the deal maker. Education is the bridge builder. Education is what connects people. Because the person may come from the most far away, destitute place, but if they get a decent education, it allows them to climb up in the world and connect with people across the world who were probably living in places like another planet. You see, but because of education, you can bridge the gap between these people. And I think that for us, for this experience that we had, one of the things that it taught me was that you can be in Ghana, but somebody who has had an Ivy League, US Ivy League education is the one who's instructing you just because of the whole concept of giving back. Meanwhile, a few years earlier, some of these students were from this same school that you're in. You know, and for me, it's a beautiful story of understanding your privilege and knowing that your privilege demands a responsibility of you. If I've been blessed with this, it may not be a lot, by something. It is my responsibility to give back.
Kweku, I really love the fact that when we engaged them, we realized that these are people who schooled here in Ghana, as you rightly mentioned, and then they had the opportunity to travel out to further their education. And these are people in different institutions, but they are friends. They are friends. And then they thought about it and said, look, let's go back to where we came from. They could have done this out there,
of course,
but let's go back to where we came from. We don't have $1 million, we don't have silver and gold to give back, but the little knowledge that has been impacted in that, yes, let's give it back to society. And what made it for me was the fact that these students that they trained were not only Accra-based students. We had we saw students from Kumasi, the northern region of Ghana. So there was, I mean, there was that level of inclusivity. Everybody, irrespective of your background, irrespective of wherever you are coming from, you need to take part in this. And it was a beautiful experience for me. And the fact that when I engaged the students, what they had learned and how some of them had thought about IT before actually taking the course, and their orientation now.
The funny thing is that some of them actually hadn't seen a computer
before.
Like literally seen physically, seen a computer before. You know, and yet you're here learning how to code.
And for just 3 weeks, they had done so much in their orientation, how they understand the whole course. It was such a surreal experience for me. So we have a report for you that you need to take a look at. Let's take a look at it, and then we'll get back talking more in the studio. I'm very thrilled to have with me the organizers of Ghana Coach right here seated. And this is an initiative by young Ghanaians who are here in Ghana to train junior high school students to get a better understanding of IT, to get a better understanding of coding, programming, and all that it has to do with this very course. Seated right here with me is Akwesi Efrifa, who is the team lead here at Ghana Coach. Kwesi, it's good to have you here.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Good. Have you been?
Very well, thank you. Now, Ghana Codes, what is the whole initiative about?
Yeah, of course. So, the idea of Ghana Codes was to start a program to train young people in high schools. So that's like Form 1, 2, 3, effectively to help them gain access to the kinds of problems that people that do computer science face, to improve their appreciation of what a career path in computer science, in tech would be, and also to kind of like lower the barriers to access for the training that we've had in schools both inside and outside of Ghana.
For the selection process, we tried to target students who were excelling in topics we felt had a significant relationship with the aptitude needed for computer science and more complex problem-solving courses. So naturally that geared towards mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and as well as ICT if it was offered in the school of the student. And yes, that's pretty much the selection criteria.
No, not for people in junior high schools, for people in high schools. And we think that the idea behind that is they are going to test the tertiary levels. They are going to college. They are going to university soon. We want them to know that, hey, if I do well in math and science, you already have the training. You can already have some level of the training you need, the aptitude you need, the skills you need to excel in computer science. We want them to know that there's an option for them outside of the traditional career path, right? That's traditional fields like law or medicine. We just want to expose them to a new career path, a different career path that we think that they can excel in. So that's kind of the idea behind the program.
We sourced the school emails and contact information for various schools around the country, and we shared the program's application forms with the teachers and the staff to give to the students to all put their hands together and apply for the program. And based on that, we're able to get essays as well as transcripts to get a general holistic understanding of the students' performance in the school curriculum. So the aim of this program is to expose students to computational problem solving and computer science as a field, as an option, just to allow them to understand that being excelling in courses such as relating to STEM and math and physics, there's an extra option, which is technology and computer science related fields, which allow them to maybe explore a passion that they weren't previously exposed to, and also be able to enjoy the world of technology, which is proving very lucrative in the modern market. So in addition to the program's aim, we decided to have some rules as to how we were, as to the size of the program. So in order to make sure each student had sufficient attention, we decided to opt for a small ratio of teachers to students. So that meant that we currently have 23 students in the program, 17 boys and 6 girls. And we have a 3-to-1 ratio of staff. So that means we have about 8 staff, more or less, yeah.
I've been sitting with some of your colleagues and I've gathered that you all are from different institutions. How did all of you decide to come together and do this?
Yeah, so like you said, we're all from different institutions. Personally, I graduated from Yale University, and I've known Kwesi, Michael, and Adjoa for quite some time. We all went to high school together. And we were all interested in mathematics, science in high school. And so when this opportunity came up, we all kind of got back in touch and tried to plan how we would make this initiative come true. For me, I'm a very big advocate of mentorship and paying forward the opportunities that you've been given. And for me, I just see Ghana Codes as a way that I can put that into action. And I really do enjoy mentoring younger students, especially in showing them opportunities which they might not have had access to otherwise, and kind of just providing that mentorship throughout their developmental stages.
It's interesting bringing students from all over the country with kind of different levels of natural affinity for the concepts that we're teaching together, and trying to make sure that they all understand the material, that they're all on par, that they're all progressing. But I think that one thing that has been at the back of my mind consistently throughout this program is we really emphasize the delta. So the change in a student's capacity for the learning or the ability to do the work from the beginning of the program to the end of the program. And I think that that's been different for the students because they're kind of used to a system where, okay, like they need to do well in their final exams, or they need to do well in assessments, to know that they need to be first, second, third, like the positions as well. But for us, we really care about like, okay, has the students progressed? Have they improved? How much have they improved from the beginning to the end? So it's been interesting. It's definitely been challenging, but I enjoy kind of thinking through like this kind of pedagogical problem.
The students have really developed their passion for computer science overall, and some of them are like, wow, before I thought only medicine or law were the paths I could take as a high achieving student in Ghana, but now they are open to more opportunities within computer science and beyond, which excites me. So hopefully Ghana Codes continues to be an annual program. Hopefully we can also increase the size of the program if we do get more support. So that would be bringing more staff in, bringing more students in, and just kind of expanding the mentorship that we're providing to the students year on year.
3 weeks of intensive training for these students in programming, coding, and all that. What would you say has been the overall performance of the students you've handled so far?
So I think in the beginning it was quite difficult because, as we said, the students had never seen this kind of material before. A lot of them had different abilities to grasp it. They had different like kind of knowledge regarding like how the computer works and computer science. But I think now the students have taken the material and have zoomed with it. It's like they're learning it even quicker than some of us did. Honestly, a lot of them are learning it quicker than we did because it's a 3-week program and it's very intense, it's very packed. And I think that we've been able to see that, okay, taking high achieving, smart students from high school and putting them in a program such as this, which teaches them these difficult concepts, is not impossible. Like they are all able to grasp the concepts. They just have to be shown them.
the students are back from their lunch break, and I'm here seated with the last but not the least of the team members that makes the whole Ghana Code team complete. John, she and I have been speaking a lot on phone. We've been talking about Ghana Codes, and we've had a very interesting conversation about this whole programming, but it's good to be here. It's good to actually see you in person. Great to have you seated right in front of me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, and I'm pleased to see all that you and the whole team are doing for the children, your community, and Ghana at large. I must commend you. Now, on speaking to the team members or some of your teammates, I picked up one thing: the fact that you all are from different institutions, from high school even to tertiary. And I've been thinking, or I'm just curious, how did this whole idea of coming together to form a team called Ghana Codes and to give back to society, and even the fact that, or what even went into the thought process of putting this whole team together? How was it like?
Okay, so most of us on the team are from the same high school. So most of the people on the team are from SOS, so they already knew each other. I'm from Wesley Girls, but I went to school with a good number of them at MIT. So we've been friends for the past 4 years, and I guess for the past 4 years we've also been thinking it's been such a privilege to be able to attend such prestigious institutions, and we're thinking of how we could give back to the Ghanaian community and just expose people to the idea that, you know, there's more to life aside from, you know, medicine and engineering or law, etc. Those are the traditional fields that I feel are pushed on students. I feel are pushed on Ghanaian students. So there are similar programs that exist, for example, in Jamaica called Jam Coda, and in Ethiopia called Addis Coda. And we took inspiration from what's being done there, and we decided to come up with Ghana Codes, which is a 3-week program that we're using to expose high school students to the fundamentals of computer science, programming, and algorithmic thinking. Yeah. The children, I feel like a lot of them didn't really have exposure to computer science or to Python or to algorithms in general. So I feel like the impact to the children is mainly enlightenment. So they've been enlightened, they've been exposed, they've been able to have hands-on experience with the material. And to Ghana, so most of these children go to schools all over Ghana. We have children from the Bono region, we have children from the Ashanti region, children from Accra, children from the Volta region, and them being a part of the program, a lot of them have said that when they go back to school, they're going to tell their friends about the program, and I think even if their friends do not join the program next year, they will just have an idea of the fact that, you know what, there's actually like the tech world. You know, some of these students went to all the students went to Google Ghana last Friday, and they had the chance to talk with the AI engineers at Google Ghana. They had the chance to tour the office and to just hear from an actual software engineer's perspective, like how fulfilling is the field of computer science, how fulfilling is software engineering. And a lot of them just had never been in such positions to be exposed to such information. So yeah, I think that's the impact that we have. The main idea is to just expose people, is to just give people the fundamentals. And when they do have the fundamentals, when they have that strong foundation, they would be able to have a better idea of what they want to pursue in the future.
John, let me ask you, I'm just curious. These are students from different backgrounds, not Accra-based students, different institutions coming together under this 3-week programming. How sustainable is this for them? Because after here, I don't know if they are going to have access to computers to continue practicing, because these hands-on trainings are able to hold with training. How sustainable is it going to be?
Yes, that's a very good question, and that's something that I believe the team, we've been thinking about this ever since the program started. So we've had to fly a lot of students here. We've had to, pay for their buses to come here. And we've realized that there's just such a disparity in what some students are exposed to already and versus like other students who probably don't even have like computer access. Honestly, that's not something that is necessarily in our control, but we do hope that just being here and just having the exposure could put them in a better position to seek exposure in general to like tech and computer science and like just computers in general. So some of the students don't really have like access to computers at home, but now that they've joined this program and now that they've seen how important it is to have computers, whenever they do get the chance, we hope that they would do their best to, like expose themselves to that or like gain access to that. So yeah.
It's a beautiful thing you have done. It's highly commendable, and kudos to you and the entire team for putting this together. Even having to sit to think about giving back to your society, it's a big deal. So thank you so much for coming or thinking about us here in Ghana to come back to give to us. Kudos and a very big congratulations to you for putting this together. I'm sure it hasn't been easy, but you have done it. TikTok, the clock is ticking and the time is almost due. So big congratulations to you. Right. So I've been speaking to Dion Manti, who is also a team member here at Ghana Codes, who are here to take high school students through programming, coding, and all that they have to know. So yes, as I said earlier, I wish them the very best and kudos to all the teammates who sat to put this whole thought process and idea together. Right, so that was a conversation with the organizers of this whole program, Ghana Codes. So kudos to Dion, Akwesi, Ajwa, Adana, Michael, Andrew Gray, and the whole team. Because this is a
Ghana Codes.
Brilliant, this is a brilliant
beautiful
idea.
I am humbled by this.
Yes.
Because you see, it's very easy to just move around in life and you're okay.
Yeah.
You're content.
Yeah.
Your family is okay. You are okay.
Yeah.
Nobody is forcing you.
Exactly.
Nobody's insisting that you should get up and leave your comfortable job. Because mind you, these guys just finished uni.
Yeah.
Literally. And I think some of them are wrapping up and some of them are looking to do postgrad programs and so on. But literally, just at that stage of their life, what's the pressure? Nobody is sending you to go and do anything. But yet they've just said, look, no, it's not enough that we sit in our comfort zones, in our apartments.
To ourselves, yes.
I went to Princeton. I went to MIT. I went to Cornell.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Let's go back home. And whilst we are at home, let's do something significant. And for me, I hope that somebody watching will be encouraged by this to say, you know what, if these guys can do it, I'm also going to get up and do my bit as well. And a lot of us have come from difficult backgrounds, but God has blessed us. And since God has blessed you, you find your life is in a good place. How about looking back to where you came from and giving back in a small way? It doesn't have to be anything big. Look, what these young guys have done, it's not anything huge, but it is significant and it will be impactful. It will be impactful for generations to come. Because think about it. I'm looking at these beneficiaries, right? If one person chooses, because of this 3-week program, chooses that they're going to take it World Cup.
Yes, some
and
of them
become
actually,
a global programmer.
Yes, some of them actually showed interest in that because I remember I spoke to one lady and she was like, well, she didn't really have interest in IT, but after coming here and the whole training thing, she's rethinking her career path and then she really wants to, go into computer science and computer engineering. So I think it's a good thing. And I mean, Kweku, I love this for them because when they sat to think about this whole thing, MIT came came on board. SOS also came on board. They housed the beneficiaries. They fed them. So it wasn't just like, oh, come take a training and go home. This was a 3 weeks intensive training with them being accommodated, fed, and well taken care of. Taken care of. So if young ones like these are able to do this, what stops you and I from doing?
Also doing something like
you
this,
don't need millions of CDs, just a little, and then lend a helping hand to that person that may need it. I'm very impressed, I must confess. I'm highly impressed. And they are even looking at coming back to Ghana next year to do it. So it's going to be something like a yearly thing.
Program.
Yes. And I hope that next year when they are back, they get bigger investors and people to support them to push to get more students to enroll on this, because this time around they were able to train 23 students out of the 127 that applied or showed interest in it. So I'm hoping that next year the program gets even bigger and better.
No, so I think it's important to put it in context and say that the about 127 students showed interest, and applied. And yet they had to shortlist.
Yes.
And these 23 people benefited from the program, right? Right. Let's take a look at those that benefited from the program, and bring you there from their own mouth. Those that benefited from the program, the beneficiaries.
So I'm going to be speaking to some of the beneficiaries of this program organized by Ghana Codes. And I see her doing a lot of typing here. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Seeing you calculate some numbers and some figures. What's going on?
So I'm finishing up my lab 2 for this week, and we are basically supposed to return like a list. So you see how in math, right? You do like when you have a set, right, and you return subsets, right? You know the subsets of the set. So we are basically trying to code something that will return, given like any values that you give it. Basically, it's supposed to return all the subsets of like those values, basically.
Right. How impactful has this been for you?
I think it has been really impactful because it has really reaffirmed like the decisions I have to make in terms of career choices, because I'm reaching like the age or like the class where I have to make some choices. So then this is really helping me to really shape my choices I have to make.
What are some of the thoughts running through your mind taking this course? The decisions that you're thinking about remaking, what are some of them? I'd like to hear.
Okay, so previously, before I came, I was more set on like doing more like biology, or like I'm really good at bio and like languages and like stuff like that. So like my mind was really set in that. But then this program has introduced me to a world of like tech, right? Even though like we are in an age where like a lot of us use a lot of technology, right? Even like phones and everything. So then it has really like opened up my mind to like the possibilities that can come from pursuing a career in like this field.
So is this something you see doing after this program? Is this something you see pursuing in future after high school?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think even if it's not like your main like career path that you're taking, I think that there are still a lot of things that you can do with like computer science, and there are a lot of resources online. Like you don't even have to really attend like a university before learning. There are a lot of opportunities here. So
finally, before I let you go, what would you tell the organizers of this program, that's Ghana Code? So what do you have to say to them?
Yeah, I would like to say a really big thank you, because honestly, coming into this, I didn't expect the environment to be this like nice, like, and the food too has been like really nice here. So then I would just like to say a very big thank you to all the organizers, Dion, Chrissy, MT, Andrew, everybody. I just like to say a very big thank you to all of them.
Congratulations to you and all the best. So I'm here with a gentleman. Hi, tell us, what's your name?
Please, my name is Akoto Kwabena Sar. I've been standing here for a while and I'm seeing you do some, I can see some ABCD, some alphabets on the screen. What are you doing?
Please, this one is actually data structures, and particularly graphs. So these are graphs, and it's like it's a way we use to represent the graphs. So these are the nodes, and the reason why we place alphabets in is that we want you to make it easily identifiable. That's why you see this A, D, J, S, T. It's not actually just any other alphabet.
Anyway, you've been here for 3 weeks to do this program. How has the program been for you?
Oh yes, this program has really impacted me, because for my general overview, like I not even have that intention of going to pursue computer science, but being here, this is the 3rd week. Being here for 3 weeks, it has really taught me a lot. It has whet my appetite to go and pursue and to go and explore in the field of computer science, because during these 3 weeks, I can say that the organizer of the program, they fully done well, because when it comes to our feeding, our everything, our learning, we not even pay a single penny, because when you look at computer science, it's a course that when it's like you are going for classes, you are going to pay a lot more. But here's the case: you are not even paying a peso. So I would also like to give the credit to our instructors for such a wonderful program that's really impacted me really very much.
What will be the takeaway for you after this whole 3-week training program? What will be that one thing you will take away from this program?
Okay, that's one thing I'll take away from this program, is that this program has really taught me that computer science demands your time. It also demands critical thinking, because sometimes over the weekends you give us many examples. Sometimes you'll be here all day long on the computer. It's like really taught me, that it's really psyched my brain that this computer science deals with critical thinking. And as far as I really thought it was difficult, but after the program I've seen that it's not anything difficult.
Well, congratulations to you on the successful completion of your program, and I wish you all the best in your future career endeavors. So I'm here with another beneficiary who is also a student undertaking this program. Can see a lot of, I don't know what I'm seeing. I can't even interpret them. You'd be the best person to do that for me. What are you doing on your computer?
So have you seen how in mathematics they have some expressions to find the number of subsets of a particular given set? So this is a code that has been programmed to find the number of substrings. So when we have a string like Emmanuel, it's going to find how many times Emmanuel can be divided, the number of substrings in Emmanuel. So this is a code for strings, as we have in math is code for numbers. So this one is for strings, to find the number of substrings.
Beautiful. You've been here for close to 3 weeks. You've been housed, you've been fed, you've been taught. How impactful has the program been for you?
So this program has taught me a lot. I have had enormous and immersive experience through this program. Through this program, I've got to know the diverse ways we can apply our thinking, that is algorithm, to solve a particular problem. Through this program, I've known that computer science is not really about just sitting down, being forced to do something, but it's something that you enjoy doing. Actually, when you are solving a problem, you enjoy solving, because after you've made a name for yourself. And also I see that the experience in it is very much such that from our instructors, they teach us how they got up higher, they got to that place that they are now. Yeah, and we are also learning from them, their ways and their path. So this program has been very impactful. We've gone to excursions like going to places like Google Ghana, and that place was awesome. I learned a lot, especially from the host of the program, Mr. Nelson. He taught us a lot, and so this program is like a dream come true. I was actually dreaming of a program like this from last year, and I've had the opportunity to attend one. So it's really...
Now, I don't know about you, but is this your first time experiencing something like this?
So yeah, it's actually my first time coding. I've actually not been in a computer science class before, so this is a first experience, but it's going really well.
How challenging has it been for a first timer?
Yeah, initially it was quite challenging, well, because you've been introduced to something new, you don't know how to go about it. But as you progress, computer science has become like a mind rewinding thing. As you progress, it changes the way you think. So then you begin to solve problems like faster than before. When you see the problem, you begin to get better ideas than before. So initially it was kind of challenging, but now it's very okay. I'm enjoying. Yeah,
I like the fact that you're enjoying it, because I mean, what's the essence of doing something and not enjoying it? So that's great. That's beautiful that you're enjoying it. What would you say to the organizers of the program, Ghana Codes?
Okay, so I would like to thank Ghana Code very much because they've introduced us to the scope of global technology. It's not every time that people stand out to do some things like this for children like us. So I would like to thank them very much, and to thank also the schools that they are coming from for giving them such opportunity. I would like to also thank the authorities of this school for giving them a place to initialize their program. It's a very nice program, and God bless them for all their works.
God bless you too for coming to study, and congratulations to you on a successful completion of your program. And I wish you the very best in your future endeavors when it comes to programming, coding, building algorithms, and whatnot. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Right, so you've heard from the horse's own mouth. That's from the beneficiaries of this program from Ghana Codes, being organized by them. An initiative to inculcate the habits of coding, to teach the students algorithms and build numbers. This is a beautiful one, and they have shared their impact, or the impact this program has had on them for the 3-week period that they have been here. So yes, as I said earlier, I wish them the very best, and kudos to all the teammates who sat to put this whole thought process and idea together.
All right, so there you have hearing it from the horse's own mouth, the beneficiaries of the Ghana Code program that was held for a period of 3 weeks at the SOS Minor premises in Tema. Yeah. That's I still can't get over it, you know, how fantastic this program is, you know. But joining us on Zoom, we have Kwesi Afriva, who went to MIT. He did computer science, of the Computer Science 2024. He's the program lead for Ghana Codes. And then we also have Michael Toku, who is with Cornell University, also Computer Science 2024, and he's also a co-founder. So these two gentlemen are the co-founders of Ghana Codes. They are joining us on Zoom. Kwesi, good morning. Kwesi.
Good morning, how?
Very well, thank you.
How have you been?
Yeah, what time is it over there?
It is about 4:40 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Sorry for waking you up so bright and early.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, but really, thank you for once again for doing this, for giving back to these young ones, and the two of us in the studio, you know, we've just been watching back at the interviews we did and just think about how amazing this intervention is. What's your plan moving forward?
So I think this first time we had to spend a lot of time. We had to raise funds. We had to rewrite some applications, and it was very time intensive. But now we've kind of reached the point where we have the connections. We just need to expand. We need to grow the scope of the program more. And yeah, I think we are in the place where we are just trying to lay the foundations for this to continue for the next however many years, right?
Yeah.
So that looks like forming partnerships with local schools to try and source. That looks like connecting with programs in the country that do this kind of talent search thing. And that also looks like expanding our network of donors within Ghana, because most of the program this year was funded and supported by our schools, and we would love to increase our network of donors and support within the country, right? Because we really can't thrive and we can't extend this without local support.
Yeah.
That also like connecting with the Ghana Education Service to potentially identify students that they think would benefit. So yeah, there's a lot more.
Right, beautiful, Kwesi. So I was wondering, after the 3-week period of you guys engaging with the students and all of that, do you feel like your purpose or the aim of the program had been achieved?
Yeah, so I think so. And I think I even felt that even more strongly than before we started, right? Because before, this is just an experiment. You don't really know. It's kind of a novel concept in Ghana to bring 25 students from across the country, from international schools, from public schools, to bring them together in the same place and teach them. That is hard. It's really not. It's not taught in their schools. It's very abstract thinking. So and then when we went there, we saw the sheer talent of these students, right? The ability to adapt, to grow, to change. Like our main thing was that it's all about their growth. So regardless of where you've come from, the only thing we care about, and the only thing we measure, in fact, is have you improved from where you were?
Yeah.
And I think I can confidently say that they improved, and that they improved massively.
Yeah.
They all excelled in their own ways, and I think it gave me a certain form of hope about the future of the country and about the future of tech inside the country.
Yeah. Michael, Michael, how about you? What's your experience been thinking back to the 3-week experience you had here? How do you feel about how everything went?
Right. I think it was a truly amazing experience. Right. There was a lot of exposure that was very clearly illustrated through the program. A lot of the students spoke very confidently about their experience with computer science. It was also very lovely to see such complex algorithmic concepts being expressed, sometimes with examples in more informally expressed examples. We had questions where we were discussing water queues and also even making more clear illustrations in tree. I think there was a lot of exposure through the Ghanaian lens of these very complex concepts, which was very intriguing and very exciting for me. I think the students also really imbibed the concepts way faster than we perhaps had imagined. And that was very inspiring about the computer science landscape in Ghana, as Chrissy mentioned.
Yeah. You know what I find interesting? How you're referring to things like watcher queues and all of that. I'm fascinated by the way you're looking at. Okay, so this is a very foreign concept to them. You're talking about algorithms and high level IT terminology and all that. But somehow people who have no exposure to this at all, you had the ability to bring them in, give them a deeper understanding of what it is, and then now they're starting to code. You know, how much of a challenge was that for you?
For sure, that's a great question. I think one of the key things we focused on as a teaching staff was we all knew that these concepts are very abstract, very complex, very far removed from day-to-day curriculums in Ghana for the most part. So we decided to do our part as much as possible to ground some of these ideas in a context that would be as close or applicable to daily life as possible, just to remove the disconnect that naturally existed from these concepts not being in the curriculums that we're exposed to in Ghana. A lot of it required a good amount of innovation. We had a great teacher staff. There was a lot of innovation. There was a lot of initiative that has been taken across the board, and I think the task itself seemed very daunting in the beginning, but sitting down, going through the weeks, discussing with each other, bouncing ideas off the wall and off each other, we're able to do a great thing in the formation of the course content.
All right, Michael, so I was wondering, we've talked about the success of the program, the challenges and all of that. So I was wondering, was there anything memorable for you during the whole 3-week period and engaging with the students? Share with us.
Excuse me?
So I'm like, we've
Can
talked
you-
about the success and the challenges the program had, but I was wondering, was there a memorable experience for you that you picked out of the whole 3-week period engaging with the students?
For sure, several of those. I think for me, one of the very memorable experiences was walking through Google, and I think I was in the elevator with a couple of students at one point, and one of them actually said to me that, you know what, he's going to do whatever he can, he's going to do whatever it takes to work in a place like this, because this is a truly amazing
Wow.
environment.
Wow.
He's never seen something like this, and that was very heartwarming for me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one of the things that we take for granted, I think, is exposure. When you're exposed, you don't truly appreciate what that means. You know, for moving forward, is there a plan? And maybe Kwesi can also come in on this. Is there a plan to expand the team that's going to come back to Ghana, the Ghana Codes team? Is there a plan to expand that?
I mean, I think yes. So effectively, yes, but I don't actually think that that's the factor. Like, I don't think that's necessarily the limiting factor.
Okay.
Like, I think I like the student to instructor, like the ratio.
Okay.
I think the plan for expansion would be, how can we get the content? How can we get the information out to more people? Because I think having a boarding program, a fairly small one at that, it makes it, you're very restricted. Like, we think that keeping the size somewhat small is important for learning and stronger connections.
Okay.
But then this isn't something that only 25 people a year in Ghana need to see, right? Like, so we are really trying to think through what are ways that we can deploy the curriculum that we've developed, the examples like Michael mentioned, to a wider range of students. Like, what are models that we can use to spread it to the 130 people that applied, for example? Because showing an interest is the first step. Showing a passion is the first step, and it's definitely not the case that the 25 that we picked are the only people in the country, by far, the only high school students in the country that can excel at this kind of thing. So yeah, we are really trying to figure out ways to do this, and we should have something to report soon.
Now, if we, you want to answer?
No, I was going to say, I mean, if you are going to look at expansion, are we looking at next year having many more students than the number we had this year? And if that's the case, how many students are we looking at, or that thought has not been put together yet?
Yeah. So, with respect to size of the class, I think size, as having a smaller size is somewhat important. Now, of course, if we wanted to expand the number of students, then we need to expand the number of staff. And with that comes financial constraints, with that comes some considerations. But I do think it's definitely possible. Like, this first version of Ghana Codes was supposed to be a pilot. So, and we see that works, and it works well, and it's successful. So yeah, we know that I think expansion of the size of the program itself is in the cards, but of course we need to raise the money to enable us to do that.
Yeah.
So again, I'm calling on sponsors in Ghana, sponsors from across the board. If you think there's some value in this, we'd love to speak.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Michael, so I was wondering, earlier on in the studio when we were having the conversation, one of our studio camera guys here said he would like his child to enroll next year. One may be wondering, if I want to take part in this, how do I do that? Because we didn't really hear about you guys when you came into town. All we heard was the program had started and they were almost ending. So how does one take part in this?
Yeah. So there'll be an application form we'll put out an application form in November, December, and I think with that is also where the local partnerships that I spoke about comes to play, right? Because to be quite frank, it's expensive to publicize a program like this via radio, via TV. So again, we like to thank Channel One for their support. Thank you so much for believing in this. But then it's very expensive to publicize, right? So we are looking for, but we do think that we could do a better job than we did this past year. So we are looking to get this out to more people, to publicize on TV, to publicize on radio, and kind of form the connections we need in schools. So we'll talk to the science departments, the math departments, if we think, who do they think can excel in this? And of course, we'll accept the applications from outside that as well. So that's something we are investing, we are putting more time in. Yes. Okay.
All right. So final word from you, Michael. Any final thoughts as we wrap this up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think firstly, we'd like to express a big thanks to Channel One, as Kwesi mentioned. We'd also like to express a big thanks to SOS for really empowering us to have this program. They made a lot of the biggest issues or biggest constraints to the program. They solved that for us. Also to our partners, our sponsors, and the likes of MIT and other foreign organizations. But yeah, we do have great vision, a great future that we planned out for this program, and we'd love to see more impact. We'd love to see the landscape in Ghana grow, and we're looking forward to what the future brings.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you very much to you, Michael, and to you, Kwesi, as well. Thank you very much for waking up early and joining us right here on Breakfast Daily. Yes, and so that was Michael Toku, who is a Cornell University graduate, and he's a co-founder of the Ghana Codes program, as well as Kwesi Afrifa. He's from MIT with Computer Science 2024. Is a program lead with Ghana Codes.